That is awesome, dude. Look how red he is. That's real animal style right there.
Look at that.
That is a day maker, baby. Oh, look at that. Today, my Real Animals adventure takes me to Naples, Florida. I'm gonna spend a little time offshore with the legendary Captain Mike Avanon. It's late spring, and things are really starting to bust loose here on the west coast of Florida. Water temps aren't too high yet, which should make for some really, really good offshore fishing. Today I'm back in beautiful Naples, Florida with my good friend Captain Mike Avanon. We're headed deep, we're going offshore. Looks like we got a beautiful day, maybe some wind coming later, but what do you think the day holds for us?
We're gonna try to sneak out in this contender and get some mangrove snappers, maybe some permits, and then if the weather will hold for us, I think we might try to go get a red snapper or two.
Okay. That sounds like a great day to me.
One day. It's going to be a great time.
Fire it up. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
You know, spending all my time in the Contender 25 Bay, I just love that boat, but guiding out of it and filming a lot of shows out of it, things like that, taking the family out in it. It's really nice when I get the opportunity to step into the bigger Contender boats. You know, today we're in the 32 ST. Mike's been guiding out of this boat offshore for about 4 years now, and it's just really unbelievable. Even with a little bit of breeze, the way the Contender eats up the water offshore. You know, I always get a little tense when I'm looking at the weather forecast and they're calling for possibly 10 to 15. I'm thinking, oof, you know, it's going to be a little breezy out there. And boy, as soon as you hit those waves in that Contender big boat, all your worries go away because you know you're in the right boat to tackle the day. So what's the plan, boss?
Well, we're going to trip this little spot here. We're going to see if we can't catch some permits.
Hi, my name is Mike, and I'm a permitaholic.
Hi, Mike. Welcome to Permaholics Anonymous.
If you've been watching the show for any amount of time, you probably know by now that if you even mention permit and you get the P-E-R out of your mouth, my ears and everything, I'm perked up, I'm ready to go. And Mike was pretty sure that he had some pieces where we could find Mr. Permit today. This is just a public reef, huh?
So this is a public reef, yeah. And you know what's cool about it, like fish like to move on the full moon. You know, I always have this thing about you should always hit this stuff right before or right after a full moon because fish will move on the moon. So say 10 dudes were here fishing yesterday, right?
Yep.
Full moon was last night. There could be new fish here today.
For sure. And fish move on the moon because of the big tides.
Right, yeah. Big tides. Tides are huge. You know, it's funny, years ago a guy said to me, he said, do tides come into play with grouper fish then? And I'm like, of course. You know, the harder the tide you have, the harder groupers feed. That's just the way it is. Because he could sit there and it brings him every piece of food, you know, that's upstream of him.
Yeah.
Kind of like trout in a stream.
Sure. Well, and I've always said that, you know, fish are just like people. They're lazy. The tide brings food to them. They don't have to hunt it down. They don't have to chase it. The moving tide is always best.
Yep.
My daughter made me these cookies, which means we will have tremendous luck today. That's how it works. You know, one of the things that's kind of cool about fishing with crabs is you don't really realize how many different species feed on crabs. You know, you think it's, you know, your permit and your cobia, and some fish are kind of, you know, labeled crab eaters. But, you know, I've caught big snook, I've caught all kinds, big grouper, I've caught all kinds of different fish drifting some crabs. And today, the mangrove snapper surprised us. It was a beautiful thing.
Come on. Come on. Good boy. We got him. We got him, Capt Mike.
Good boy. Hey, you're Capt Mike.
Capt Mike, Capt Mike.
Capt Mike, Capt Mike.
Double bubble.
Good boy.
Let the day begin.
I like it.
Doesn't feel like a big one, but you know what it is?
Fish.
That's right, it's the first one of the day. This is acting funky. Ain't acting like the permit. This ain't the permit. Oh no.
Look at that, baby.
Oh no. You know what's for dinner?
Yep.
We got the snapper, baby.
Snapper.
Look at that. That's a tasty critter right there. A little olive oil, garlic. He's coming home. Snapper. It's what's for dinner.
I get that.
All right.
With so many people telling me that if you want to go offshore out of Naples, Captain Mike Avenon's the guy. I heard it and heard it and heard it from so many different people. I was really looking forward to the opportunity to picking his brain and seeing how he attacks a piece of structure offshore. You know, everybody does it a little different. You know, I like to anchor up on my nearshore pieces. Permit tend to circle the wrecks and the reefs and things like that. That's just their nature. And I always find that if you kind of anchor on that piece and just give those fish time, they will circle around and run into your baits. Mike wanted to drift this piece. And drifting sounds really easy, but to get the current and the wind and that big boat set up just right to kind of drift across that piece, it's not as easy as it sounds. And Mike just did a great job putting us right where we needed to be to catch those fish. Tight.
Nice job, bud. Snapper or permit?
Oh, that's a good question.
That looks kind of like a big mangrove snapper.
Yeah, it feels like a snapper too, but let me see here. Didn't get that crazy run.
No, no, I think
Like
you
a
got a
perm.
big mangrove snapper there. Might have to put a little chunk to him, see if there's some more. One thing's for sure, we're gonna find out in a minute. Oh yeah. Now he knows he's hooked.
Yeah, he's not happy about it either. You know, permit, it's something you really need to experience because they put up such an incredible fight. They get that big wide body turned sideways in the water, and there just really, in my opinion, isn't a whole lot like them. You know, I love sight fishing them up top when you can see them. That's always incredible. It's usually a nice calm day when you get those kind of conditions that they come up and they tail and they fin. Today we didn't really have that. It was a little bit breezy out, so I expected those fish to be down in the column. You know, we had put a split shot on to get those crabs down in the strike zone, but the minute you're hooked up with a permit, you know it, and you know it's going to be one heck of a battle.
That's a nice fish.
It feels like a really nice fish.
Yeah, yep. You know, he was acting a little funky maybe because of that current. So what do you think, Mike? Do you catch more permits when the tide's running hard or on a light tide?
We're using a lighter tide, yeah, fishing a lighter tide, and again, you're sight fishing them too. So here, where you're drifting them back into this current, you know, we're seeing them up top, tailing and finning, and making casts at them. So you're not really, we don't have our bails open a lot.
I love it.
This one is not happy with me. God bless him.
That's all right. We like him.
I do. I like a good fighting permit. You know, with Mike, his energy level was just incredible. You know, one of the cool things about fishing with great inshore or offshore guys is that energy. And when the cameras hit the boat, you know, they want to put on a show. They want to put you on the fish. They want to beat you down. And Mike was no different. And today I kind of figured, you know, with the wind up a little bit, we were just off the full moon, you know, we were going to have to work just a little bit. Was pretty sure we'd get the bite, but we were going to have to put some time in. And Mike said he had more spots than he had patience. Come on. Come on, Pumpkin. Oh, yeah, nice job, bud. Really nice fish. Nice fish. Oh, they're just so gorgeous. I'm the guy. That, to me, is just magic. That is magic.
Look at it.
That is magical. Yeah, baby, that's a Naples morning opener right there, baby. Look at that.
Look at the color on it.
Such a cool fish. The yellow.
And the tail. Look at the tail. It's all horsepower.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Horsepower and propeller.
I can feel it in the old bicep, I can tell you that.
Yeah, man. Nice job, bud. Nice job, bud. Yeah, man. Good start. Nice job, buddy. Round 2, coming up.
Do it. You know, it was interesting for me to learn this, but the further we got away from land, the calmer that it got. It actually turned into a really, really beautiful day. And I was worried based on the weather reports that at some point we were going to run out of that, but we just never did. All the way out to the meet spot and then all the way back in, we had absolutely beautiful, beautiful conditions.
Such a beautiful day out here. Man, I don't really care if I catch a fish. I'm just kind of happy to be here today.
It's ridiculously beautiful.
Nice day.
So how far are we from land, actually?
So right now we're about 65 miles from Naples. We're fishing in about 150 feet of water. This is kind of where all our red snappers start, is right in here. I know up by you guys in Tampa, they're a little closer.
A little bit.
Yeah, down here it's a little further offshore. They start around 140, 150 feet out to around 200. So starting at 65 out to as far as you want to run.
Let's catch one.
All right, let's wheel on. There we go. He's hooked now.
Oh boy.
There we go. It's a red snapper.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
I like how calm you are.
Another day.
I think this could be a red snapper.
They're so much fun to catch.
So much fun to eat.
Oh, I'm telling you what. And this is what I think it is. It's his lucky day. You doubled up now. There you go, buddy. Good job.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, I'd say we found some hard biting fish.
I'd say this is a bigger fish.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's a dime right there. That's a pretty fish.
Oh boy.
They are so pretty. Such a cool fish.
This one's taking drag.
All right. We'll give him a little pop.
Come here, fool.
All right. I will see you June 1st.
I think the conservation efforts that have been in place have really, really helped and have turned this fishery around. Almost no place you can go offshore once you get into the right depth of water, whether it's 120, 130, 140 on out, that you can't catch American red snapper. Sometimes they're a big nuisance. If you want to catch gags, you want to catch red grouper, the American red snapper just won't let you get your baits down there long enough for the big boys to come and play. But that's not a bad thing. American red snapper, the Gulf of Mexico is full of them, and that's a really, really beautiful thing.
Watch this, you ready?
That's what it's all about right there.
Good angling skills right
there. That's such a beautiful fish. This week's tip of the week, guys, I want to introduce you to my very favorite product for this season, and it is definitely Aqua Traction Marine Flooring. I'm on my boat all day, every day. I'm fishing tournaments, running charters, filming shows, and it takes a toll on my knees, my ankles, my back. With Aqua Traction Marine Flooring, all of that has changed. I'm here with Ben Fort. Ben's with Southern Tide Customs. He's my local Aqua Traction dealer. Ben's the guy that put all this in my boat, came out and measured it all, customized it to my 25 Contender Bay. Ben, tell me about the product because I'm absolutely blown away.
Aqua Traction is the most advanced marine flooring in the industry. We offer a 100% closed cell, cross-linked polyethylene foam, which it translates to it's more durable, denser, holds up a lot better, easier to clean, way more stain resistant.
Right.
And we offer the fastest lead times from measure to install and the best warranty along with customer service on the market.
I knew that was one of the things I was really happy with was the lead time. Boy, once we decided to do this, it didn't take very long from, you getting to the boat to measure it to actually getting it in my boat. And I'm telling you, buddy, it made a world of difference. Go to aquatraction.com for more information and a dealer near you. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. I will have Aqua Traction in every boat I own from here on out, and I'm betting you will too. So in leading up to this trip, I've been wanting to get offshore out of the Naples area for years now. I've been coming down here and fishing Naples, Marco Island, but almost always headed towards the Everglades to do some of that incredible backcountry fishing. But the offshore fishing here out of Naples is really, really spectacular. And in all my years of trying to find the right guy to do it with, all the arrows kept kind of pointing to Captain Mike Avanon. And in leading up to this trip, he was talking like, hey, we're going to make a pretty good run, 60, 65 miles offshore and try to get on the meat.
There we go. That's a better fish. Oh. It's not pulling drag yet.
It's always nice when you get out there deep and a couple of fire trucks come to play. It's another really beautiful fish that we have in the Gulf of Mexico. The red grouper fishery is in pretty fair shape out there. There's good numbers of fish. You kind of got to time it right. Got to get in the right depths, be with the right captains who know where to go target these bigger red grouper. But that's a really, really great fish. Again, great on the grill, great fish to catch, great photo fish. Just really fortunate to have this fishery here in our backyard on the west coast of Florida.
He's gonna get that same ticket that mangrove snapper got.
Grocery ticket?
One way
Pretty fish.
to the fish fry. Pretty cool fish.
The west coast of Florida in general is very popular for the grouper species, the scamp grouper, the gag grouper, the red grouper. The bottom, the terrain along the west coast of Florida is just it's perfectly set up. Great conditions for grouper species to thrive on the west coast of Florida. It's kind of what the whole west coast of Florida is known for. All the great offshore charter captains on Florida's west coast are really good at targeting these species, and Captain Mike Avanon is no different.
So what we're trying to do here is this is a wreck, right? And it's high structure. There's some Goliath groupers here, and what we're trying to do with this tide is get these mangrove snappers up as close to the boat as we can. That way we can kind of pick them off close to the surface away from the Goliath groupers. Problem on a lot of the wrecks and reefs anymore, the Goliath groupers have gotten so thick, if you try to fish the snappers down around the bottom, you'll lose them to the Goliath, whereas if you can get them up on the surface behind the boat, you stand a much better chance of catching them.
Yummy. you got, kid?
I think I got the red snapper. See if he stays on my hook. They've been giving us the slip here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mr. Snapper. This is just practice. We're doing a warm-up run. That's a pretty one. Pretty fish. They look so pretty in that blue water.
I don't think there's a prettier fish in the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe the permit, but that'd probably be it. And I know for me personally, there isn't a fish that I'd rather have as table fare than American red snapper. It's delicious. They're just a gorgeous, gorgeous fish. They take great pictures. They look great on camera. They fight good. They're plentiful. So many things to love about our American red snapper fishery. We just had an absolutely beautiful day. Anytime I can get on the water and catch a permit, mix in some red grouper, some American red snapper, be with a great guy, have some laughs, a beautiful day. You just can't, there's no way to draw it up any better than that. I mean, just an incredible Real Animals adventure. Great day on the water. I would highly recommend an offshore trip with Captain Mike Avanon anytime you can go.